about every position. They've won the last 4 games in January, so it seems like they're kind of coming together a little bit. What are you expecting from them? And has having Matt Cleveland on the team, does he give you any little secret scouting reports or anything that could be helpful, or just the fact that he knows the team so well that he'll be able to play well against them? Thanks.
Well, first of all, I think Leonard Hamilton's team is really coming together. They're playing very, very well right now. They've been very, very impressive in teams that we've played already, mutual teams. They beat Colorado. They beat Wake Forest. We lost to both of them. They are very long, very athletic. They've got Darren Green Jr., who's a tremendous shooter. And then Watkins is just a great all-around player. Their big guys are very good in around the basket, and they play a unique style of defense. They're constantly switching and denying, and that's different than our recent games. So we've got, fortunately, some time today and tomorrow to prepare and hopefully play well on Wednesday.
Is it a benefit having Matt, that he knows that team so well?
We're not going to – we won't even talk to Matt about that because there's enough pressure on a young man like Matt Cleveland playing against his former team. I just want him to relax and enjoy playing with his Miami teammates. I don't want him to get into, the idea that he was once a Florida State player. That's something that's more of a distraction to him than anything. He's playing so well, practicing so well. I just want him to, stay focused on our game plan and our execution.
Thank you.
Adam Lichtenstein, go ahead.
Hey, Jim, how's it going?
Pretty good today.
Good. My question first is also about Matt, but kind of a different vein. Just, obviously he's playing very well right now. Just what have you learned about him as a person, as a player, over the course of the last few weeks and couple months, really, since the season began?
Well, first of all, he's a very good athlete. He can really run. He's very good in the open court. He's got very good offensive skills. He's a basketball player. He's someone that prides himself on being able to do a lot of things well. And one of the most interesting things to me is back early in September, I showed him a text that I got from his dad, and his dad said to me, I think the key for Matt is just become more efficient. So Matt and I had a discussion about that, I'll say on a Tuesday, and on Wednesday he was the most efficient player you've ever seen, and he kept doing that. I was like, man, I wish it was all that easy just to tell someone, hey, look, you need to be more efficient than he has been. But you look at his efficiency numbers with us, they're incredibly good.
I guess you just have to tell him for Wednesday, just score 60 points. But another question I had about FSU in general, last year they, had a pretty rough year. They've already eclipsed their win total from, last season at this point already. So knowing Leonard Hamilton, having coached against him for a long time, is this kind of what you more of what you expect from a Leonard Hamilton team?
Yeah, I always think that FSU is very well prepared and extremely long and athletic. And when they're denying and switching, and if your players don't read and react to that, it can really be a problem. And I think you can see that the way they're playing right now. Their win over Colorado was very impressive, and then their win over Wake Forest the other day, last week. Again, Wake Forest was on a 8 or 9 game winning streak, playing really, really well. They had just beaten us, and Florida State handled them. And I think Florida State is a team that has some losses that maybe people are surprised about, but they also have some terrific wins and are playing real well right now.
I'll go next to Rick Bozich. Go ahead, Rick.
Yeah, Jim, I know you weren't happy with your team after the loss to Louisville, but as somebody who covers Louisville, that was a big win for them. What did you see? What was the biggest improvement, I guess, you've seen in Louisville since last year?
Well, I would say a number of things in preparing for Louisville. Number one, I really liked their balance in their attack. Having the big fella inside gave them an inside presence, but then they were getting great perimeter play. Mike James was really on a roll. His first half performance against us was tremendous, and I think the other players have been very complimentary to what Kenny Payne wants to do. And when you get good chemistry offensively, that oftentimes helps your defense. And I thought they really had a good defensive game plan. I said after the game we played awful, but you got to give Louisville the credit because they really did a good job on North Shadow Mirror. They did a very good job of getting in the paint on their offensive possessions, and we ended up fouling them a lot, way more than we're one of the top, I think, 10 teams in the country in not fouling. But that day, Louisville got to the foul line. So when you have good balance in your offense, you have a couple of guys really shooting the ball well on the perimeter, and then you have a big guy, I think it was a career high for Hatfield, Huntley Hatfield, and we had a hard time guarding him. And your defense, really does a nice job of shutting down the other team's leading inside scorer. So I think they're a good team and getting better.
Thank you.
David Teal, go ahead.
Jim, you're one of the best three-point defending teams in the country and one of the worst two-point defending teams in the country. Is it simply a matter of not having a lot of size on the interior, or is there something else at play here?
Okay, there's two sides to that coin. The first is we are small, and we need to defend the three when we're playing so many teams that are shooting a lot of threes. So we've really made it a priority to try to defend the three, but at the same time, that kind of limits what we're able to do with the two. If we want to defend the two better, we're going to have to pack the paint more and get more bodies in the lane and give up more threes. We don't want to really do that unless the other team is specifically a post-up team. Like I just said about Louisville, one of the reasons they got off to such a good start was Mike James at 16 or 17 at the half. They really good. You saw this weekend, Sean Padula had 16 at the half. So it's not like we're absolutely shutting people down from the three, but we've been pretty good at that. We're just not very big and don't have any shot blockers to defend the basket.
You mentioned Padula. He ends up finishing with a career high 33. He's got 91 the last 3 games. Where is this coming from? He's never approached that kind of production.
Well, he's a very skilled player. I'm really impressed with them. I'm very excited that we won that game. I think with Hunter Couture, they're even a real threat. Lynn Kidd is a dramatically improved player on the inside, and Sean Padula is, he's having a typical career year. It's his best year, and he's enjoying that confidence and success that comes along with it.
I'll go next to Isabel Charles.
Hey, Coach, kind of just wanted to ask you about that Virginia Tech game and how big was that win for your team to kind of get back on track after those last 2 defeats?
Yeah, whenever you lose a game, you don't want to lose 2 in a row. Anytime you lose 2 in a row, you definitely don't want to lose 3 in a row. And so that was a very challenging game for us, primarily because of how good Virginia Tech is and how fanatic those fans are. That's one of the toughest venues to play in, because they were singing before the game. That's how much fun they have in supporting their players and team. So I'm very, very proud of the guys for finding a way to get the job done.
I want to get one last quick one in from Michelle Kaufman.
Thanks, Jim. I had a second question here to finish off. I wanted to ask you about Norchad. I mean, he's obviously still, very dominant player, but the last 2 games, his numbers have been down a little bit. He's had like single-digit rebounds and, the free throw shooting a little bit off. Is there anything, is it just matchup issues, or do you think he could be doing better in the last couple games?
No, it's a matter of, Norchad, despite his incredible level of play, he's not going to be 100% every game. We wear him out. We don't have someone. He played 37 minutes the last game. It's very just 37 minutes against Louisville. I forget how many against Virginia Tech, but a lot. The only reason he sat out is he picked up his second foul with 4 minutes to go in the half, so I had to sit him those 4 minutes to keep him out of foul trouble. So he's working so hard. He's not going to be perfect every night. So this past week and weekend, I think he had a normal what's the word? He was just a little bit. Had a sinking, he missed some shots. He missed some free throws. So I'm sure he'll bounce back this week and have a great week.
Thank you.
Coach L, thank you for the time today. Appreciate it. We'll see you soon.
Thanks, everybody.